The meaning of today's parables. In the first parable, the kingdom of heaven is characterized as a buried treasure in a field, which the person who finds it immediately recognizes the value of the item, and out of joy does everything in his power to obtain it. He sells all of his earthly goods to acquire the treasure in the field, the kingdom of heaven. All is good and joy here. In the second, the kingdom of heaven is characterized to be like a merchant who is searching for the finest of pearls, and he finds the finest of all pearls for the greatest price, that he sells all to acquire that pearl, the kingdom of heaven. All is good and joy here. In both parables, the person who finds a buried treasure and the merchant who finds a pearl of great price sell all they have to acquire these finds. They each understand the supreme value of the kingdom and give up whatever they must to obtain it. The joy with which this is done is made explicit only in the first parable, but it may be presumed in the second. An extraordinary joy at achievement of the kingdom after selling all their goods may also be presumed. There is a third parable which closes the triad. It has verses 47 through 50. This parable will be done as tomorrow's gospel, so I'll not go any further with the analysis here. To achieve the kingdom of heaven, we all must do everything in our power each day to achieve it. It is not merely, I must do my prayers, I must be good, I must love my neighbour. We need to go forth and do those things joyfully, with a happy spirit, and with joy, not that we must do these things. We needs must go forth joyfully, and we needs must do them because we have an internal spirit calling to us to do them. It isn't just that the Lord calls us to do them, but that our spirit is calling us to do this. Do you see the difference? It isn't, I must do this, I must do that. It is, I am called to do this. I am called to do that. Someone recently asked me, why do you do this daily posting, if it is such a burden? And it is my joy to have this burden, because some days it is very difficult to do this. The pain of recording with this bright light is intense. The difficulty of writing these scriptures. As you note, yesterday and today I cheat. I only wrote a portion, and the rest I do extemporaneously. But I still have it written in my mind. I still have it prepared in my head. But I was saddened because I saw that no one was watching the videos. No one, to my mind, was reading any of my scripture, any of my items, because I was getting no feedback. Whereas a year ago, when I posted my reflections prior to scripture, I would get feedback. But then someone noted to me that she reads but doesn't listen. But she doesn't ever give feedback. So, needs must, I go forward. For the Lord has asked me to do this, and I do it joyfully. I incur the pain to my eyes and to my brain for Him. This I do for Him joyfully. the other burden of that post was that I have now 9 research studies unpublished that will probably never be published because no one seems to understand our research. And those in the research community eschew it because it requires them to forego all of their incorrect research of 100 years. Don't be a solo researcher throwing open all of 100 years of research. Even though the Lord is with you, none of the research field is. So I go forward with my research, even though I know I'm right, and even though I know it would help hundreds of thousands of patients. It won't in my lifetime. This is my burden, and I accept it. For those of you who watch, there's likely a hospitalization coming up soon. I seem to crash frequently in August. When and if this happens, I'll figure out something for the scriptures and for the recordings. It may just be pieces of tape on the wall again in the hospital room, but I'll figure something out. The peace of Christ be with each of you always.